What's going on, my Century Galaxy? It's the Century Man here. So in this video, I'm going to rank all the movies of Phase 2 of the MCU, best to worst. It's the same when I review all the movies of Phase 1 of the MCU. You know, ever since I start reviewing movies of the MCU in January, I review all the movies of Phase 1, do this video, rank the movies to best to worst. It's a way to sign out and move on to the next phase. When I review the movies of Phase 1, do this video, rank the movies to best to worst, move on to Phase 2. The same, review all the movies of Phase 2, do this video to sign out Phase 2, and moving on to Phase 3, that'll be a bit of a challenge. So, there's 6 movies of Phase 2, same as Phase 1. We got Iron Man 3, Thor 2, The Dark World, Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, and Ant-Man. Phase 3, oh boy, that'll be a challenge. There's, I think, 11 or 12 movies. That will probably take me about 2 months or 3 months, probably 2 months. When I review the movies of Phase 1, that probably took me a month. It started in January and ended in February. So I think I start reviewing Phase 2 movies in March. Now we're in April. I think it'll be the same, because this weekend I'm reviewing the first movie of Phase 3 of the MCU. That will be Captain America 3, the Civil War. That'll be, the first movie of Phase 3. That will be a challenge, so stay tuned. That'll probably take me probably until May. Maybe June, but it's likely be April to May. Anyway, so, these movies... they're not worse movies. You're not going to get a worse MCU movie. MCU movies that turn out to be great, good, amazing movies. Maybe sometimes like a decent movie. Maybe it could be like a very filler movie, but never like bad or terrible. We're not going to see a bad MCU movie for quite a while. Depending what movie or Phase 4 is going to stick up the joint, but unlikely. But anyway, so the first movie, I'm gonna start with the worst, ranking it worst, then moving on to best. I did the same thing when I, for Phase 1, worst to best. Anyway, so I don't say this movie was worst, but the weakest movie of Phase 2 of the MCU has to be Thor 2, Dark World. Very weak. The plot was weak. The villain, Malekith. Malekith was played by Christopher Eccleston. The guy plays Doctor Who. The first Doctor kicked off the reboot version of Doctor Who, a decade ago or 15 years ago. He's way better than Laufey, the villain from Thor 1, but that's not saying too much. He was okay, but not great. The plot was a bit thin. Jane Foster, being the vessel of the Earther. It was a good introducing, the Infinity Stones, in this phase. It set up, what's going to happen in Phase 3, with Thanos and the Avengers 3 and 4. You have to wait and find out, but, besides that, I think that's the way that basically Natalie Portman quit. She kind of quit. That was way back in 2013. Right now, she's coming back in 2022 in the new Thor movie, Love and Thunder. It's good to see, Natalie Portman's going to revise her role as Jane Foster. It was Dorothy's last appearance in the MCU for a decade until she came back in WandaVision early this year. Selvig, he came back in Age of Ultron. Then you never see him ever again. I think rumors he was in a cameo in Spider-Man Far From Home. That was the last movie of Phase 3 before, the whole COVID pandemic hit. Besides that, there was nothing like great. The fight was okay. The fight scenes were okay, but it's just a standard superhero movie. Yeah, I'm gonna rank it bottom. That's 6th place. 5th place, 5th and 4th, I'm gonna go with. Let's talk about Ant-Man first, then Iron Man. Ant-Man, fuck it, let's do Iron Man, shit. Iron Man, I thought this is going to be the top 3 best movie of Phase 2. Unfortunately, that's not the case. That relegate down to 5th. The plot was fine, but I don't know. The villain, Killian, was good, but besides that, the fake Mandarin was, it was funny, but we're not gonna. Yeah, Guy Pearce was the real Mandarin, but it's just like it's just like not gonna see the true Mandarin. It's kind of like a letdown. Killian was good, but besides that, the worst villains of the MCU has to be Brant and Seven. I think Brant was killed off in the Tennessee scene in the second act of the movie. Besides that, Seven was killed off. Seven got a little bit of character development, but that's not saying too much. They're so generic. It's just like, I don't know. What's Seven's code name? I think he's cold-blooded. So that's his name. Alter ego name. Anyway, I'm not really following the comics, but yeah, they're just very forgettable villains of the MCU. Yeah, Guy Pearce's Killian, he was okay, but not saying too much. The plot was fine. It was a bit of a letdown looking back. It was a decent movie. I think it's the second best movie out of the Iron Man trilogy. I think the weakest has to be Iron Man 2. That's not saying too much. They trying to tease this love triangle storyline in this movie between, Tony Stark, Pepper Potts, and Maya Hansen, played by Rebecca Hall. Unfortunately, they never tend to did that. I think they got the corrections right. They got it right in because in Iron Man 2 they kind of ignored the trying to build this feelings love triangle, not love triangle, but this love relationship between Tony Stark and Pepper Potts. That was a bit disappointed. Because if you follow the comics, I think they fall in love. I think they had a kid in Endgames, but seeing that in Iron Man 2, Pepper is more focused on running Stark industry. It's just disappointing. But in phase 3, you had Tony saving Pepper, got kidnapped by the Mandarin, got a little bit of the powers, but yeah, the powers was not permanently, and yeah, the whole thing when Tony not being Iron Man. I understand it was a contract thing because Robert Downey Jr.'s contract was expired, but he signed a new deal and he was Iron Man in Age of Ultron. So yeah, the plot was okay. Could be a lot better. I placed it 5th place. 4th place, the last movie I just reviewed was Ant-Man. That was the final movie of Phase 2. Fun movie. Same as Iron Man, not Iron Man, but Thor 2. It's just a standard superhero movie, but it was enjoyable. The CGI, like I said, it was good to see. The star in this movie was Paul Rudd as Scott Lang, Ant-Man. He did a good job. We got, Aveline Lilly as Hope Pym. Michael Douglas, who's an established actor, plays Hank Pym, the original Ant-Man. You got Corey Stoll as Darren Cross, Yellow Jacket. Michael Pena as Luis. He was I can't say the selling point of this movie, but he was the bright spot in this movie. Doing the whole storytelling. You say it in the third person. I kind of like it in those two Ant-Man movies, but yeah, the fight scene was good. When Yellow Jacket and Ant-Man were fighting on the top of the Thomas the Tank Engine toy, and the toy transformed into a giant. It came big. That Thomas the Tank Engine toy. It was a massive big. It looks like a statue. It looks like a giant statue, less more as the toy. And also the ant appeared in the end scene of the movie. You had Cassie, feeding the ants. I thought it was Anthony, but unfortunately Anthony got killed off by Cross. Shot it down. He trying to shoot, Scott, but he accidentally shot the ant. I thought it was one with it. Anthony's one with the ant with the wings. This was just a bona fide ant. The CGI was so good. It plants seeds of 2 movies of Phase 3. It plants seeds of Captain America 3 Civil War. It was a post-credit scene with Steve, Sam, Bucky, and also it set up the sequel of Ant-Man, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Hank introduced Hope with the Wasp outfit, because the mom basically sacrifices herself, because in the movie, Hank and Hope basically were butting heads, not on the right page, but they kind of put their differences aside, and then, Hank introduced the suits, and that set up, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and by the way, the original Wasp was played by Michelle Pfeiffer. That'll be in the sequel. That'll be in 2018. So yeah, I put it 4th place. Nothing fantastic, but I think it was a little bit, it was good for what it is. It was enjoyable. So that's 4th place. So 3rd place, oh boy, 3rd place, taking the bronze medal. I'm gonna go with Avengers 2: Age of Ultron. Good. It was a bit of a letdown as the first movie. Over the 4 Avengers movies, that is the first Avengers movie, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, and Endgames. It's in the bottom. Decent movie, but nothing fantastic. It didn't blow me away. James Spader as Ultron, I think he's underrated. Some people crap on him, but in reality, I think he did a good job playing as Ultron. The CGI effect on Ultron was good. Yeah, it's a bit typical movies these days. I feel like back then and right now it's CGI heavy. I can't do nothing about it. It's just what it is. But his performance as Ultron was good. He shot Quicksilver. Yeah, he plays mind games. His motive in this movie is destroying the planet. Compare it to Loki. Loki's motive in the first Avengers movie is ruling Earth with the Chitauri. In the second movie, Age of Ultron, Ultron just basically wants to blow up the planet. Yeah, it introduced new characters to the MCU. You had Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff, Quicksilver. Like I say Quicksilver pissed me off in that movie. As a villain, him and Wanda are kind of like in the villain part of the first to the second act of the movie, and then in the final act of the film, they kind of turn, you put it in wrestling terms, babyface. They turn into, they're kind of on the good guy side, stopping Ultron. Yeah, they killed off Quicksilver. They have to do that because at the time Fox owned the rights because they're doing the X-Men movies right now. Because Disney owned the rights of Fox, they got the Family Guy stuff, X-Men movies. Maybe I heard they got Deadpool 2. I might have to check it and find out. Yeah, because that was just the Fox thing, because at the time, that Quicksilver character was played by, there was 2 Quicksilver characters, and the actors played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, who plays the Quicksilver in Age of Ultron, and Evan Peters, Quicksilver, was played in the X-Men movies, in Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, Dark Phoenix, and now appeared in WandaVision a couple of years later in our current timeline. So yeah, I think it was good. They were teasing this love triangle, not love triangle. Why I kept saying love triangle, but this love interest storyline between Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow, and Hulk. Bruce Banner. Hulk doesn't want to be in a relationship with Black Widow, because, I think the world he thinks he's a threat. And also, he left in the Quinjet, Natasha kind of send Hulk, record a message, but he kind of turns off the message. And he will play the message when they will be at Ragnarok. He'll smash the Quinjet, and then way to transform really get him out of the Hulk phase and be Bruce Banner. I'll tell you more when I review Ragnarok. But yeah, they laugh. You can tell they're moving on. Hulk is officially done with love after ended this love interest with Betty Ross. Now he ended with Natasha Romanoff. So Hawkeye was good. He was kind of like his movie. We never got that type of character development with that character. Clint Barton, Hawkeye, was played by Jeremy Renner. He did a good job. Give him that more character development. People don't like him, but I like him. We didn't showcase that character because his first battle in the MCU was in Thor 1. Then Avengers 1, he was kind of like under Loki's mind spell because of the Soul Stone. And then, I say Phase 1 was introduced the Infinity Stone. I say Phase 2 because more of the developing what these Infinity Stones could do. So yeah, I think the fight in Sokovia was good. But yeah, I think it was, I say the top 3 best movie of Phase 2 of the MCU. So, 2nd place, I'm going to go with Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier. I think it was the 2nd best movie of of the Phase 2. You know, like the best movie for me in Phase 1 of the MCU was the first Captain America movie, first Avenger. This movie was good. Introduced new characters. You got like Sam Wilson playing Falcon. You got Brock Rumlow played by Frank Grillo, who be Crossbones. You never see that character ever again. You got killed off in Age of Ultron. Bucky Barnes, played by Sebastian Stan, came back as the Winter Soldier. It's the fight between Hydra, and the villain was Alexander Pierce. I can't say Bucky was the villain because it was under Hydra's mind control, but Alexander Pierce, played by Robert Redford, he was good. He was alright, nothing special. He was kind of this type of wittier villains. Don't use their strength to kill people. He just used their brains, like killing the maid in that scene. It was a good funny scene with Sam and Steve. They were jogging, and and you got Steve saying on your left. That was funny. It was a first bow to Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, the Falcon. He appeared in multiple movies. Right now he's in the TV show Falcon, the Winter Soldier show. It's still covering. It was good. It gave like Steve a new war, because in the first movie he was fighting the Hydra Nazis of World War II. Now he's facing Hydra. I think the fight scene with the Winter Soldier in the road and also in the hell carrier was good. Yeah, they kind of tease of Nick Fury getting killed off, but he did came back. I think that same as the Tony Stark. I think it was more of a contracts thing. Because Tony Stark don't want to be Iron Man in Iron Man 3. In this movie, he's kind of like faked his own death, but he came back in, Age of Ultron. So, he only, because he only appeared in like post-credit scenes and little bit parts of the movies. Samuel L. Jackson was, he's an established actor, so. Yeah, it was good. It was a good movie to watch. The return of Haley Atwell in a cameo as old Peggy. So it's really given Steve a new challenge. I think the best scene in that movie was the elevated scene. Before we do everyone wants to get off this lift, lads, not lads. I call them lads. The fight scene was good. Finding the elevator scene. Sorry, I kind of stumbled, but it was good to see. It was good. That was one of the best fight scenes in probably movie's history. They kind of Steve kind of did that in Endgames without fighting. He kind of whispered to Sidwell, who got killed off in this movie by the Winter Soldier. Kind of threw him off the car. He kind of got hit by a truck. Steve saying, "Hail Hydra." He was part of Hydra, so. So anyway, it had also a cameo appearance of was it Toby Jones as Armin Zola in computer form. So that was that was the second best movie of the Phase 2 of the MCU. So the best movie of Phase 2 of the MCU has to be Guardians of the Galaxy, man. They established those characters, because before that they were not really truly established. They're kind of like truly the unknown. If they didn't got the right characters in this movie, I think this movie could be a bomb. But I'm glad they did well. It's one of the best, really one of my favorite movies of the MCU. You got Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista or Batista. If you follow him in WWE, he's a former wrestler. Vin Diesel is Groot, Bradley Cooper as Rocket, Karen Gillan as Nebula. You got Lee Pace as Ronan the Conqueror. You had really a cup of coffee appearance of Thanos. I said, they use him once or twice, because if they use him too much, I don't think that movie, the Avengers Infinity War, the movie in 2018, won't be that great, because that movie was the Thanos film. It'll be like, we saw Thanos so many times in movies, if they keep using Thanos, but keep him in a minimal role, like in post-credit scenes. He did showed up in the post-credit scene in Age of Ultron, I have to do it by myself. Fine. So because the post-credit scene in Age of Ultron, that was so out in place. They should have done it at the post-credit scene of Guardians of the Galaxy, And also you had the post-credit scene with Howard the Duck, that's voiced by Seth Green, with the Collector, his place was smashed. Because the duck says you let him lick him like that because there was a duck wearing a astronaut suit. So yeah, it was funny. You had some music, good hook on the feeling. Gonna Get Your Love. The song from Jackson 5. I can't remember. Go watch my review of Guardians of the Galaxy 1. It set up the second movie that'll be in 2017. Quill is half human, half alien. That's Ego, played by Kurt Russell. It was good. Drax playing this guy. Taking it literally. He was funny in 3 movies, or not 3 movies, but 2 movies, and also appearance in Infinity War. So yeah, it's a proper sci-fi movie because the 2 Thor movies are mixer of sci-fi and Viking mythology. They did establish those characters. They set up like a TV show, and also set up a game, but that was done by Telltale Games, the Guardians of the Galaxy game, and also the anime series. I've seen it. I like the live action Guardians way better than the cartoon version of Guardians. That's just me. So yeah, so let's recap. So 6th place, I'm going with Thor 2 Dark World. 5th place, Iron Man 3. 4th place, Ant-Man. 3rd place, Avengers 2 Age of Ultron. 2nd place, Captain America 2 Winter Soldier. And also, it set up Civil War. And also, the best movie of Phase 1 of the MCU. The best movie of Phase 2 of the MCU, I'm trying to say, is, Guardians of the Galaxy. It was good, introduced new characters, established them. It set up, it really set up what's going to happen throughout the whole MCU, from Phase 2 to Phase 3. So, anyway, hope you enjoy my video ranking movies of Phase 2 of the MCU, best to worst. So, I sign out Phase 2, moving on to Phase 3. It'll be 11 movies of Phase 3. So we got Captain America Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, or Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Let's see, Jesus Christ, there's so many fucking movies. Avengers Endgames, let's see, Captain Marvel, and Spider-Man Far From Home. There's like Black Panther, Black Panther. Wow, a lot of movies, man. So, what I'm gonna do is, I probably have to, instead of doing, I always do reviewing the MCU movies every weekend, so I have to do one a weekday, one a weekend. So it's back to back. If I do it every weekend, that'll take me long. That'll probably take me 2 months, probably until starting in April and ending in June. I'm trying to do it. It will take me a month because I started doing this MCU movie review series in January, reviewing all the movies starting in January, ending in February. I think I started Phase 2 in March. And now we're in April. It's likely it's going to end in April. And Phase 3 is going to start it in April and end in May. Probably end of May. Who knows? So yeah, I'm going to end this video. So hope you enjoy my video ranking all my... Really ranking all the movies of Phase 2 of the MCU, best to worst. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the Essential Man Network on YouTube for more wrestling videos, Marvel videos, and more. And this is Essential Man officially signing out. Check you later.